are watching the In Third Person comic book show. I'm Jet from InThirdPerson.com, a site about video games, comic books, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. And on today's show, I wanted to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy because they've got a movie coming soon, and I'm really excited to see it. So, I'm not the biggest Guardians of the Galaxy expert, admittedly. I've only read a little bit of their stuff. But I didn't want to talk about the little things I've read and what I know about the group so far. So, the original team started in the 1960s, and they had a completely different cast of characters. And in the 2000s, Marvel brought the team back, or at least the name back, with a completely different group of heroes. So that group includes Peter Quill, also known as Star Lord, and the leader of the group. There's Drax the Destroyer, who at one point killed Thanos. Gamora, who is the daughter of Thanos. Groot, who is a giant tree that can only say "I am Groot," or as I imagine it, "I am Groot," or something like that. And then, of course, Rocket Raccoon, who's a raccoon who carries big guns. In the first Marvel Now book, Guardians of the Galaxy #1 Cosmic Avengers, Iron Man is also on the team. Peter Quill gives him a call and say, "Hey, come out to space to help me out." And Iron Man says, "Okay, cool." So in that first book, you get the origin story of Peter Quill, which I actually think is the best issue in that whole set. And then a story about the Badoon forces attacking Earth. And of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy go to save it, but it gets a little complicated when your dad's involved. Well, Peter Quill's dad's involved, and he's kind of the king of the galaxy, and he kind of put a big target on Earth. It's complicated. There's a lot of space politics going on there. I think it's okay. Um, the art's good, maybe not the best Brian Michael Bendis work. I really love his stuff on X-Men. Here, I think it's just okay. Like, it's very straightforward in nature. A lot of it's just chopping down nameless soldiers over and over again. And kind of my biggest problem with the group right now is that Peter Quill is cool. He's basically Han Solo in the Marvel Universe, which is great. But then the other ones, there's not really much going on. Like, Drax the Destroyer is just a grunt who beats a lot of things up. Gamora just beats a lot of things up. And then Groot just beats a lot of things up. And Rocket Raccoon, well, he's the closest to having a personality, but he just kind of talks too much and says weird one-liners and whatnot. I think they could be doing more with that supporting cast. Ideally, they get to a point where they're like the X-Men, where sure, there's going to be different characters that are the focal point at any given time, but at any point, any of those characters can carry that story. And right now, I don't think the Guardians of the Galaxy is there. If you're looking for it, so Guardians of the Galaxy #1, Cosmic Avengers. There's a book in between this one and this one, Volume 2, Angela, which is the focal point is her, who, I mean, from the little I know, she was actually in Spawn first, and then legal battles between the creators. One of them got full rights, and now she's part of the Guardians of the Galaxy through whatever story happened in that middle book. And I guess more recently, the stuff that happens in the trial of Jean Grey. If you're not familiar with what's going on with the X-Men right now, the X-Men of the past got transported to the present. So there's the present X-Men and the past X-Men in the same time continuum. And the Shi'ar want to put Jean Grey on trial for the crimes that future Jean Grey committed as the Phoenix, where she kind of blew up a planet. And so it's a little crazy that why would you go and convict this girl who, yes, it's the same person, but it's a past state who hasn't done anything yet. But I thought it was okay. And I think the downside, if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan or interested in it, I think the X-Men are the primary focus here. They're just kind of around to shoot dudes and beat things up. As for the movie, I am pretty stoked for it. Everything I've seen about the trailers has looked really cool. And I think there's a little more fun that comes through in the trailers that I didn't necessarily see in the comic books. So I really want to see how they bring the Guardians of the Galaxy to light. And that is going to be it for this edition of the In Third Person comic book show. If you like what you're seeing here, check out more videos on youtube.com/gen3rd person. You can like this video, subscribe to the channel. Also, you can head over to my website, inthirdperson.com, for more stuff on comic books, movies, not movies, we don't really cover movies, comic books, video games, board games, and more. So until next time, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Later.